Hey, it's Next tutorial with how to set up a car crash in Roblox. And this was a suggested thing by a subscriber and viewer. I forget what his username is right now. But first, you want to open up your toolbox. Actually, I'm going to go to My Models. I'll put the link for this crash test model in the... Oh, wow. It actually has a... Okay, so you can probably delete your existing base plate. And now you have your crash test. Let's close the toolbox out. And now you have your base plate, and you have these couple cars I put together. I am a little laggy right now, so please excuse that. This is just how you do it. You put a little spring constraint to one part. So I'm going to show you how to use this, because you can swap these cars out. So if you want to test this, usually if you run this, it goes and then they crash together. See? I think it's actually pretty cool. It just it ends up with this little bit of crappiness here then, but it works. So if we stop the simulation, now let's swap over a car. Let's get rid of one of these. You have to open this up, expand it. I have breaker and user manuals. You can read that. We're going to take this example car. We're going to cut this. I'm going to put a new car in. How about let's get a sunburst. I made myself a model here that will work. So I want to move the sunburst over. See how actually this is a common mistake. See how when I move it, the little red squares underneath the wheels, that means it's welding to the part. Usually, just to combat that, you move it up at least 2 studs. Not even 2 studs, like 0.2 or something, and then move it up to this. Now this is a mesh, so you can't actually just weld this onto this. You have to take this, actually, if you go over to Model tab and you go create, you create a weld, make a weld between attach this to the front bumper, then attach it to the front bumper. You got that. Now if I want to stage it up, I can always redo that on the other side. Now for this, if you have just a flat front end for your car, all you have to do is simply just take this and move it up right, and see how it becomes gray there? That's because it starts welding. And then that'll be simple for that. Now if we want to test it, let's first close this stuff up because I have a potato PC and I will crash if I do it any other way. Now I test it up against this. Now there goes the sunburst, didn't move and it just exploded. Sometimes that happens, and wow, that actually looked pretty spectacular. That was actually pretty cool. Sometimes cars take a little bit to especially a chassis, because they have a little bit of time before they initialize and become unanchored and ready to drive. So you can use this with a different car. For example, let's get rid of this car. And let's put let's think what I'm thinking what I could use. Let's put a Beam style deformable SUV. Now we put this up here. Now we spin this around. Now see how also there's gray little circles around, like not gray squares around the wheels. That's because it's welding too. So you want to kind of just rotate it first, and then move it up, move it forward. I'm going to use the weld constraint. So I'm going to move it up just a little bit. Now, it's time to take the weld, go to model, go over and make your weld between this part to that. Nope, that's not what I want to cut. Now I want to, because if you usually mess up, it's you have to just delete it. You put it there. Now, if we test, let's close this up, and let's go to the test tab and run. You can always anchor these if you want to anchor them and then set them off and see, look right there. There we go, the deformable car in action. That's a video coming later in time, and there it goes, it just fell off. Okay, so I think that's it. I hope that helped you, and this is basically how to stage it. You can also stage a side impact, but I'm not going to show that off quite yet. If you want to suggest, I will probably make a tutorial on it. So that's it. Thank you for watching.